He's the best there is at what he does, and what he does isn't very nice at all. What's up, guys? Timzster here. I'm back. It's October 2020. We are at the spooky season, Halloween season. So it's time to dress up, play your favorite characters, wear costumes, whether it be horror or superheroes. But at this time of pandemic and the trying times, do it indoors, do it virtually, and do it at home. I hope you are safe. I'm holding here in my hand my collection of X-Men movies in Blu-ray. Yeah, starting with the first X-Men, the Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and of course, Logan, as played by the great Hugh Jackman. And just October 12, he turned 52. That's right. Happy birthday, Hugh Jackman. I am a big fan of the X-Men films since day one, and he has embodied the character of Wolverine, Logan James Howlett, ever since the year 2000, and has been a part of the X-Men series for over 17 years, which is why he made it to the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest actor to play a superhero role. Wow, 17 years. Playing the same role. So, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, we are going to be celebrating your birthday by reviewing one of these two newly released X-Men Marvel Legends figures by Hasbro. Yes, they're based from the X-Men films, so you can see here the likeness and detail from the box is very similar to Hugh Jackman's portrayal of Logan Wolverine in the X-Men movies. There's a regular sleeveless white shirt version, and then there's the brown jacket version. But for this review today, we are going to be looking at this one. The iconic sleeveless Berserker Barrage Wolverine, as played by Hugh Jackman. So, let's take a look and review this baby. Here we go. We're taking a look at the boxes, and they look pretty awesome. There is the jacket version of Wolverine to my left, and the sleeveless bone-clawed Wolverine here to my right. We are going to be opening and reviewing this figure, and just looking at it from the box alone, it's awesome. Two heads printed in the likeness of Hugh Jackman, and then this Wolverine also has dog tags. You can see the belt buckle. His bone claws are inserted by default, but you also have adamantium laced claws. In the back, there's no description, but there is a shadowy figure drawing of Wolverine as he appears. Wow. Hasbro, you did a good job with these X-Men figures. It was a long time coming. Now that Disney has acquired 20th Century Fox and all of its properties, they can now make these figures in association with Hasbro. These figures were announced earlier this year, and they just came out in the market a couple of weeks back. I also got the brown jacket Wolverine as he appears in this film, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Not such a highly rated movie, but it's part of the X-Men movies universe. So if you're into all of Hugh Jackman's appearances in the 17-year history he has played the character, you gotta get these figures. There's also a Logan version of the figure. It's a 2-pack along with Professor Charles Xavier, as played by Patrick Stewart, but I don't have that yet. I got these two, Mystique and Professor X and Magneto, which I'll be reviewing next time, including this one. Wow, look how shiny it is. But for now, we are going to be concentrating on this 6-inch Hugh Jackman Wolverine action figure. So let's take it out of the box. So we have this awesome, detailed, Hugh Jackman-based Wolverine action figure, Marvel Legends, as inspired by the X-Men movies franchise, and he looks good. If you watched X-Men Origins Wolverine and X2, it looks exactly like how Hugh Jackman played the character in those sleeveless shirt. He has 2 adamantium claws and he also has 2 bone claws. But I inserted the adamantium claws because that's how we know him best. He's the best there is at what he does, and what he does is not very nice. And using this ruler, this figure clocks in at just over 6 inches. And I like it. It is very detailed. It has the butterfly swivel, so if you want to do action figure poses and move the claws, you can do that. This is a very awesome Wolverine figure. Bub. Well, this thing here, the dog tags, you can easily remove that if you're not a fan of seeing this accessory. But I'm leaving it. This Wolverine is actually pretty tall if you compare him to other Marvel Legends figures. I mean, okay, let's see. Here we have Johnny Storm. And you can see the difference. Look at that. He's really tall. These movie-inspired X-Men Marvel Legends figures are tall. And let's not get to the shorter Wolverine action figure. Actually, I'm going to compare it. Hold on a second. There's a comparison between the comic book versions of Wolverine and Hugh Jackman's portrayal of the character. And there's no contest. With these Marvel Legends size differences, Hugh Jackman is taller than any of these. And it's accurate because the movie version of Wolverine was taller than his comic book counterpart. In fact, Bryan Singer was supposed to pick either Russell Crowe or Doug Scott for the role of Wolverine before it went to Hugh Jackman here. But ultimately, scheduling differences and other commitments netted Jackman the part, and I'm glad he got it. It changed his life and our lives too. He became the quintessential actor to play Wolverine. Australian too, but yeah, Wolverine was voiced by an Australian actor in the 80s animated X-Men series. How ironic is that? But man, I wouldn't have imagined anybody else to play the character, and I'm glad Mr. Jackman got it. He's the best there is at what he does, and it's been over 20 years since the first X-Men movie came out in theaters. Trust a few, fear the rest. Spawning a very lucrative franchise. And now that Disney owns the 20th Century Fox library, they can do as they please. They can make action figures based on those movies, and eventually they will reboot or remake these characters for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I'm really glad Hugh Jackman got to play the part, and a lot of people are hoping he'd appear in the MCU. He actually said he'd be interested, but he just finished strong with Logan back in 2017. One of the best superhero films ever made. I can't see Hugh Jackman reviving the character after finishing off so strong and passing the torch. But you never know. For now, we get awesome action figures like this. Man, he is the Wolverine. Don't mess with me, bub. Now, I'd be remiss not to show this character up close in an action pose. There is the interchangeable head and bone claws, which we're not going to be putting in this figure. It just looks awesome. For $20, not bad. If you're a fan of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, get this figure. You owe it to yourselves. And there you have it, guys. My review of Hugh Jackman's Marvel Legends action figure of Wolverine. Yeah, the best there is at what he does. I'm a big fan. I'm glad I got to get this figure as a representation of the character from the movies. Boy, it's been 20 years since the X-Men movies came out. 20 years. And Hugh Jackman just turned 52. Imagine that. He was only 32 years old when this movie came out. When he first played the character, and who would have imagined he'd be the longest running superhero actor to play the same character. Oh, Guinness Book of World Records. I'm proud to have a representation of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. here in action figure form, very articulate, and I can't wait to review the rest of this line by Hasbro from the X-Men movies timeline. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please do subscribe if you haven't yet to this channel. I'll be talking about more games, more things about pop culture, more toy reviews, of course, and anything that may be of interest to hobbies and just the world of popular culture. Have a happy Halloween. I hope you're all safe, and hopefully things will get better soon. I'll be seeing you guys next time. This is Timzster signing off, because he's the best there is at what he does. Bub.